while I saw it like this. I mean, it's raining every day. This morning it was still raining. Yesterday morning it rained, and the night it rained, and this morning again it started raining. And I think it's beautiful for late planters. Unfortunately, this year I didn't do late planter. I should have done that. So welcome, my name is Laura Amanze, and then today on the show, I am here with you, Gaba, as Amaka would say. Sunday Ndukwe is here with me today on the show. Sonny?
Yeah.
How far?
We thank God we are here. Viewers, you are welcome. The rains are good for dry season farming.
I tell you.
You know, we need to at least some years to farm twice. You know, so that we have a lot of food.
Bumper harvest, yeah.
We have enough food for the nation.
At least everything shouldn't be on the negative.
Yes.
Nature is being benevolent to us.
That's it.
And by the way, you're looking very sugar bad this morning.
Yes, since we are going to touch some political issues.
So you have to look okay. You have to look extremely political. All right, so welcome to the show. So this morning we are going to be starting with newspaper headlines. And when we're done with that, we take you through sports. And from sports, we go to our newsroom. And when we come back from the newsroom, of course, we are still talking breast cancer month. And this time around, Inner Way Clubs of Abakaliki will be coming here to share with us their own form of contribution on what they are doing to create awareness and also support the girl child. All that will be coming your way today on the show. Meanwhile, today we have 4 newspapers we'll be looking at. We'll look at the Punch, the Guardian, Nigerian Tribune, and Vanguard, and then of course the Daily Trust. That's about 5 newspapers we'll be looking at today. So let us kickstart with the Punch. The Punch says the screaming headline, there's a marketers blame depots as petrol nears 1,000 naira per litre. We are still talking petrol hike and all that, and we're thinking that by now something should be given so that we see people getting respite because of the subsidy. Well, but it appears the issue with petroleum costs is still high there. Then this one says court adjourns suit seeking to stop PDP convention. And then strike, National Assembly wades into ASU, FG disputes. I think that's much we can take from the Punch newspaper. And that will take us to, let's go to the Guardian. Now the Guardian says, APC consolidates power as Mba ends PDP's 26-year reign in Enugu State. I think that's a big story that is practically in every newspaper headline today, and we are going to be looking at that. Indeed, PDP has been holding sway in Enugu State for the past 26 years. So let's look at what is going to happen now that Enugu is becoming or has become APC. Now he says there's this other one that says Tinubu to ECOWAS declare stolen mineral resources an international crime. Okay, stolen mineral resources and international crime. Let's see how that plays out. And Senate 6, repatriation of Nigerian women, children held in Libya, in Libyan prison. I think that's there was a motion moved by Natasha, the Senator Natasha, on that in the House. All right, and then we go to the Nigerian Tribune. It says PDP suffers multiple losses in Enugu, Bauchi, Kaduna, and the writer says Enugu governor defects to APC, Bauchi senator, 3 Kaduna reps leave party. Damagun legal advisor clash in court. That's a lot. And Nigeria secures Shell's $2 billion offshore gas project. Would that translate to any relief or respite for Nigerians? We are yet to see that. And that takes us to the Vanguard newspaper. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, their headline here says, away from a political whatever, illegal financial outflows worsen Nigerians' revenue problem, IMF. Wow. And then we have on the riders there, it says, promises renewed focus on tracing such flows to plough their physical leakages, upgrades Nigeria's 2025 economic growth, focus to 3 points 9%, cites a stronger domestic fundamentals, calls for credible fiscal monetary policies, and downgrades global economic growth forecast to 2.8%. All that is coming from the IMF. Okay, that's on the Vanguard. We still have the ASU issue on the Vanguard. It says, ASU reps move to avert breakdown in varsity system. NLC draws battle line with federal government over education crisis. We don't know when this is going to stop. Okay, that takes us to the Daily Trust. Taraba governor order big wings, IAPC. Are we becoming a one-party state? It appears to be. That is what is happening in Nigeria today. And then Nigeria misses automatic World Cup spots head for playoffs. We are going to see that. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement in the house concerning that. All right, Sonny. Now, first, I know that the big story is on bad defection and all that, but let's look at this marketers blaming depots as petrol nears 1,000 naira per litre. Now, we're looking at petrol that went as far down to 850 naira, 820, depending on the state you're buying from. And then they said that this fresh hike works its inflation fears. Commuters face higher transport fares. Dangote targets 600 million litres supply to stabilize markets. Calls man for government intervention. Experts query the regulation claims. Okay, so many things happening. So many things. Now, depots are blaming. Dangote was supposed to have, there was a promise, I think last week or thereabouts, that the price of premium motor spirit will come down to as low as 820 and thereabouts. And then suddenly there is no fuel in the depots. And now the independent marketers are also saying that they will go and start importing again. Perhaps with that there will be competition to bring down the prices of fuel. So I don't know, Sonny, what is all this up and down we are doing with this petrol and fuel in the country? I mean, we're supposed to have a respite after the regulation of that sector in the name of subsidy removal. What is going on?
Yeah, you know, in business, at times, if there are illegalities, certain factors will creep in, like rise in price, just as we are talking about. It's just that most of the paper you highlighted did not get there's a particular paper, though not here, where customs seized petroleum product about to be smuggled to other African countries. It's just that I don't think we have it on our papers here. No, now, those product was estimated to worth millions of naira. Now, if you have, this is the one they caught. We don't know of the other ones that are not, you know, there's every day for the thief, one day.
For the owner of the house.
So this is the reason why marketers are laying accusing fingers on depot. When they participate in this kind of
economic sabotage,
why take our product to another country illegally? So when this kind of thing continues to happen, there's no way that we will not have a price hike. There's no way. And that's why at times when they say someone is alleging, there are some atom of truth. Dangote has this issue. And that was why Dangote was insisting that he will supply to retailers direct. He will boycott depots and supply direct. These are some of the reasons. Even though there were so many chaotic activities surrounding those statements then, because of Pengasin and Nopeng. But there are elements of truth from what we are seeing now. What is the reason why the petroleum PMS price should be high?
I know what is even more scary is that we are approaching the festive periods. I know once this hike goes on, there's no coming down. and this will also translate to commuters paying higher fares unnecessarily. So I am thinking, what do you think that the NNPC should do something? I mean, they are one of the regulatory bodies, right? They are the ones that can regulate what the depot does and all that. So why are they hoarding fuel again? And then why taking it outside? What do you think that NNPC should be doing now to ensure that this thing is nipped in the bud before it escalates any further?
You know, NNPC can only regulate price, but they cannot work on market forces. When the product is scarce, I don't know if you get it, there's no way the price will become stable, because people will be struggling to get, and the people that have will be having issues with supplying to the persons that are looking for it. So the much NNPC can do is to make sure that there's enough of this product in the market. If possible, supply to major marketers.
And that's the point I'm making. Why can't they supply to major marketers?
To major marketer, just the way
directly,
just the way Dangote was planning to do before the issue of strike came in. Then these people that are into economic sabotage, they should be persecuted. Let us not just hear that so product was seized, and then we are not hearing anything about the persons involved. When you do follow up, at a point, everything will just end up that way. That is not the way to go about it.
Indeed, it is not the way to go about it. Okay, let's watch and see how it plays out, because it would be nice if we start getting prosecutions, not just arrests or seizures, and then at the end of the day, those seizures, we don't even know what eventually happens to them, and then the masses continue to suffer. Now, let's look at this university is still going on, the ASU thing. Now, ASU has gone on strike and said they are not going to be cowed into submission in the name of threats. No work, no pay. They want to do pro rata payment and all that. And they are announcing now National Assembly is trying to wade into ASU and the federal government dispute. What do you think the National Assembly can do to stop and at least this strike that has already started?
Yes, National Assembly can wait. They can use their political influence on the presidency, to do what the Minister of Education is not able to do. They can boycott some bureaucratic bottlenecks, and approach the presidency for this matter to be solved. If there are issues of budgeting, lack of fund, if it is possible, fund could also be allowed to be budgeted for them so that the matter could be solved. But I thought before now, National Assembly could have been involved, because there are various House committees that has one thing or the other to do with education. They are not supposed to have kept quiet until now that ASU is having a warning strike, which could culminate to a full-blown strike if time is not taken. And then they are waking up now. But since they are waking up, they should handle the matter quickly, because it's not good for education system. Nigeria should grow past this level of each time we are talking about strike in our universities, which also encourages the Japa syndrome, because at times some of these lecturers will go home and then luckily, should I use the word luckily, invited by institutions outside the country.
Of course, it's luckily, because we are all talking about stomach care. You have a family you need to feed, and then you are there giving your best, and that best is not even being appreciated. And then what also bothers me is for our children, it's not everybody that can actually, we keep saying this, it's not everybody that can afford private schools, private universities.
You're right.
Most of these private universities are not even offering what those well-trained professors in our public universities can offer, you understand? So they are just more interested in, let's have a very huge amount as fees, and that is an attraction. For Nigerians, especially the haves, there is this thing that, okay, my child is in so school, we are paying so millions, and that is what gets into people's head. We are not even looking at what are the basic things that child is getting from those schools. And what also bothers me is that most of our leaders are beneficiaries of these federal institutions. those of them that are in the National Assembly now. So why can't they wake up? I mean, if there were no federal universities, I'm sure most of them wouldn't have even seen, even from primary school to tertiary institutions, most of them wouldn't have seen the four walls of a school because of the backgrounds they are coming from. And now they're allowing the whole education system to collapse completely. So I don't know. I think also, what other measure can ASU take outside strike?
Well, for me, I think...
because obviously strike does not really work. Strike.
If you could recall, on this program,
yes,
we spent 3 months hearing of ASU issue, ASU consulting with government, ASU telling the public that look at the agreement we signed in 2009, look at the one we signed in 2010. None of them have been honored by government. ASU have been crying loud. It's not to get started.
So what is the impediment in honoring those agreements?
They are now using warning strike to draw the attention of stakeholders. There are this call by individual that ASU should not worry federal government. Somebody was becoming, sarcastic. He said ASU should just go, don't mind anything. If the system wants to collapse, let it collapse. That goes to say that all the things ASU are asking for is for the betterment of the universities. If you look at all the matters there, it's for the good of the universities. Most of the professors now, when they go for sabbatical and they say, bring your pay slip, they don't bring it out.
How can they bring it out?
They don't bring the pay slip out because it is an insult. You bring a pay slip, that is what they are paying a graduate assistant.
Yeah, in those countries.
In some places.
Yeah. And even some graduate assistants earn more than that in some countries.
So it's not only about payment, revitalization. Funding should be appropriate for the universities so that they can look like other universities. The other day we talk about ranking. Mm-hmm. It's not me and you that does the ranking. Mm-hmm. You see, we saw private universities trying to lead universities that have been existing for years. That is not correct. It's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so. We don't even talk about state universities. How many state universities made it to that ranking?
Don't even go there.
Are you seeing it? So if they should keep quiet like state universities, then time will come, then people will just abandon all the structures we have here and there as universities will now become monuments. We pray it doesn't get it. Let it not get to that.
It doesn't get to that because if it gets to that, then
it's not just forcing us to go back to work, go back to work with empty hand.
Yeah, if you just look at it now, even in most institutions now, there is no money for research. When you don't research, how can you now produce anything? How can you do science like we are seeing? And that is why we will have people who did not go to school come out and go and just get results anywhere and say, I read sciences or I was given this certificate from so university. And at the end of the day, we are not even able to produce chalk. And we have a Ministry of Science and Technology. When there is no research for universities, how do we now produce people? Other countries are going to space and doing stuff. And in Nigeria, we are just there, we're in motion, no movement.
When you don't have quality personnel to man Ministry of Science and Technology, you don't expect to see this kind of thing I'm talking about, going to space and production, manufacturing, scientific breakthrough. We saw what happened the other day. The Minister of Science, how they
and he even had the audacity to be taking the universities to courts and asking that they should apologize. And when you even know that you are in the wrong, I'm still waiting to hear what has happened to the minister, because it's high time we started setting examples with some of those people that are injuring the system and thinking that they can just do and undo and get away with it. Anyway, let's rest that. We do hope that with the National Assembly now trying to wade into the matter, that ASU and federal government will resolve and not just white paper and they need to be pushed under the table.
You don't use threat to achieve purpose.
Exactly.
Threatening them with lack of pay, no pay, that is not the way. When these persons have been on media for more than 3 months.
Talking about the same thing.
What is the problem?
Over years.
Over years.
Yeah.
The other day they denied that there was no agreement. Then later on they came and say, yes, we are not saying that there was no agreement. It was just that the agreement were not properly.
And it took how many years?
The problem is, the issue is the problem. Is are those problems that talking about, are they in existence? Yes or no?
Yes, there is.
Solve them. That's what I should say.
We can't solve them like that, but first we have to, dish out fat salaries to political office holders so that they can now begin to say, honor Egawago. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Let's leave that there as we still keep watch over what is happening. Now, let's go to the Nigerian Tribune now. The big story that is everywhere. PDP suffers multiple losses in Enugu, Bauchi, and Kaduna states. And it says, Enugu governor defects to APC. Bauchi senator, 3 Kaduna reps leave party. Damagun legal advisor clash in court. Now, Sonny, I am beginning to get a little bit apprehensive on where our democracy is tilting to. I mean, this is a country over 200 million people. How is it that people cannot just stick to who brought them in? The channel they followed and came into power. Now everybody is defecting to the APC. What is going on? What's happening? Must you belong to the ruling party to be impactful? Or is there an underlying factors or salient issues that we don't know why people have to defect to ruling parties? Because it's not just with the APC. Even when PDP was in power, it was the same thing. What's going on?
There's what I call, just as you have food security, there's what I call political security. So this defection is definitely because of what I describe as political security. If you cast your mind back, in Zamfara State in 2023, in Zamfara State, we had a situation whereby APC won the election as governor. But because the process that brought that governor was flawed, there were issues as concerned whether the party this or party that, while Oshomole was the party chairman. And because of that reason, Supreme Court said, because of the way people came, the chairman that brought you people, the persons that signed your form to become, that you went through primaries, you are not existing. So for that reason, the legitimate person that contested election is the second person. That was, I think, 2000, was it 2000, before 2023 election. The election that brought the incumbent Minister of State for Defense of Zamfara State.
Okay.
We see to that. The same issue also happened in River State because of political whatever.
Realigning.
There was no candidate for APC then in River State. So it goes to what I describe as political security. Some of these persons that are the campaign, they are looking for a party where they think is their stability, so that they can return in 2020. They can win election in 2026. When primaries will come, they will win. That is one.
Okay.
That is one reason. Because if you look at PDP already, there are so many problems here and there, and they are not ready to change. Seeing what happened in the court.
PDP even still had problem prior to 2023 general elections, and they were still able to win some states, especially in the southeast.
The problem was not as what we are seeing now. The situation whereby the secretary is giving order, and the chairman is giving
a different order.
And now convention is coming in a party that you want to use, and as governor, convention is coming, and you are not sure that convention will hold. And now primaries will be holding next year. So for purpose of their political security, they will now look for a political party that seems less trouble, that has less trouble. Not that the ones that go doesn't have trouble, but that has less trouble, so that they can return to office Jeje.
But the point I'm also looking at is, okay, you are looking for where there's stability. Who destabilized where you are coming from?
Now,
were you not the ones that destabilized where you're coming from?
Now, if we are going to dwell on that, we will take a lot of time. Remember, Enugu State Government and Southeast per se, why they were trying to appoint after the former secretary went somewhere and came back.
Mm-hmm. Where did he go to?
He went to contest election. He went to contest election
in
Imo State, and he did not win.
Yeah.
He came back and said he wants to resume. Then within that period, PDP stakeholders from Enugu and Southeast said, let this person, one Sunday Udochukwu, let him become the secretary. Anyanwu should go. That was not respected. Now, the same secretary that PDP insisted must be, you can see where he is now. He's singing a different song while the party chairman is singing another song. In a situation whereby primaries will soon come. If you keep quiet, time will come when the constitution will not recognize your primaries, will not recognize the elections that come through those primaries. So you win election, somebody will go to court, they will say second.
And nullify it.
Yeah, so the person that took second in that election
is the legitimate
winner. You go. So
and what happened in Imo, we keep repeating.
That is it. That is what they are trying to avoid, in my own understanding, by joining, looking for party that is safe. Another reason is disturbances. If you are a governor that is performing, you will not like to stay in a place every time they are calling you to come and settle problem. It takes a lot of time.
And indeed, the governor of Enugu State is really performing.
Yes.
His performance index is quite high.
Yes. So you stay in a party every now and then, they will call you to come to Abuja. Come, you know you are the leader of the party in the Southeast. Come, you'll be running up and down, abandoning your home state. It was not easy for Mayor Malabuni when he was acting chairman of APC. There was a time the people will almost say they don't have governor. So you, as the governor that is performing, you would like to avoid such situation where they will be like, and the fund is involved because you don't run around like that without fund.
Definitely.
You don't run around that.
And also to maybe attract powers from the center to your state, attract projects to your state.
That is it.
Because I mean, if you look at what played out during our own governor, our immediate past governor, Dave Umahi, even though he was in PDP, but he managed to attract the power from the center and was able to do a lot of the projects he carried out. But still, and I think the undertone is that at the end of the day, there was that understanding, okay, if we are going to be doing this for you, you will have to realign, which eventually that was what played out, and then Ebonyi State moved from being a PDP state to APC states now. And that started way from when the former governor, His Excellency Senator Dave Umahi, was in office here. Yeah. But if you also look at how Enugu State own is now playing out, unlike the crisis that happened in Rivers State, where it's like we have APC PDP in Rivers State. The people, part of Rivers cabinet is supporting Wike, whom we don't know if he's in APC or in PDP, or he's APC PDP. And then the governor is, claiming then to be core PDP. Now, in the defection of Mba yesterday, we saw that he carried the whole of Enugu. Because when the commissioners or political appointees aligned with him immediately, what do you make of that? Do you see that as being a very strong political statement for Southeast? Because right now, we are having just 2 states now that is non-APC so far.
Well, Southeast and
they need to be relevant in the center.
Yeah, Southeast and the issue of being relevant in the center is very important, just as you highlighted, But just as I also want to maintain, no one wants to be in a place where every day they are crying foul now and then. Look at what happened in the court. Party chairman came and said, this is our legal team. And then the legal advisor of the party said no, that he is the one constitutionally empowered to appoint a legal team. Then the judge said, okay, I think we should let us just adjourn for a few minutes. You can go and settle your problem and come forward with your legal team. They went there, 30 minutes, they could not settle. The judge had to call them in. They did not settle. This is a party that governors are about to leave their political party, still quarreling in public. What are they going to offer Southeast in that kind of situation?
Yeah.
So those are the things.
But are you now saying, are there no other parties that the Southeast or any other state can join? Must it be APC to maintain relevance?
It is a lesson for other political parties who like to involve in controversy. Look at Labour Party. One person is saying he's chairman. Another person is saying he's chairman.
And it has lingered. And
then they will have 2 PRO. And everything is double there now. So is it that one now that you will go and join?
Yeah.
In Abia State, while they were conducting a local government election, all the local government people went with Zenith Labour Party, YPP, if I'm correct. They did not use Labour Party. Why the governor won the election through
Labour Party?
But the local government chairmen were elected under different parties because of the problem in the Labour Party. So which other party will you want to go and risk? I've just told you that it's political.
Yeah, and we are still not sure.
Political security.
Yeah, we are still not sure where ADC is headed. There's still no stability in ADC. We don't know who is coming out, who is not coming out. Where are they zoning to and where are they not zoning to? Because we are saying, okay, if zoning must be done, it has to be done to retain in the South so that the unwritten constitution of balance of power, 88 South, 88 North, is maintained. So I think I tend to agree with you in the area of no, political security that everybody is seeking for, and the South is trying to be relevant. But you also see Anambra and then maybe Abia towing the same line in the nearest future.
For Anambra, Anambra ABGA is already like working with the APC government. Yes, ABGA has been like that for long.
Yeah.
Each time, what they are always like supporting the government at the center.
At the center.
And for them to retain the state. That has been their style. So the only person I'm looking at that could possibly defect another party because of what is going on in their party, in the Labour Party, is the governor of Abia State. To be frank, you cannot risk it. You cannot risk that situation.
Except, well, I don't know under what, if OT will maintain what party. Is it Labour Party or what? We don't know.
He came in through Labour Party.
I know. Yes. I know. If he's going to be maintained based on his personal pedigree, that people will say, okay, he's performing. It doesn't matter which party you come under, will vote you.
That is not the issue. The issue is that you should be in a party where after, even if you win, after winning, you should be in a party that when you go to court will not say the process that brought you is wrong, it's mad. And then you now lose the entire thing to another person that did nothing. That is the issue.
All right, that's the much we will take from the newspaper headlines, Sonny. Of course, it's always a pleasure when you do your analysis. I know you're well grounded. And if I allow you, we'll continue to talk and talk and talk. But we have to take a short break now before we return to take our sports highlights.
Sunrise and Salt TV, another blissful moment on television. Sunrise and Salt TV, another blissful moment on television. Sunrise and Salt TV.
All right, we're glad to have you back on Sunrise and Salt Television, the salt of the nation. And we're still here now. We're going to be talking sports. Unfortunately, our sports analyst, Collins Usulo, couldn't join us today. He had a little bit of mishap in his side. So me and Sunday Ndukwe will still be here to highlight what really happened, and of course the big story is everywhere. Okay, Nigeria this, let me not let the cat out of the bag, but let's just go ahead and do the analysis. Okay, the Nigerian Super Eagles that we're looking at were FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The Nigerian Super Eagles last night beat Benin Republic 4-0 in their last group stage match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, courtesy of Nigerian international Victor Osimhen's hat-trick. The victory at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium Uyo saw Nigeria finish second in Group C of the World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria now joins Gabon, Cameroon, and Burkina Faso as the top four second place teams in the qualifiers, who will now compete in the playoffs. The African playoffs, which is like a semi-final match for a tournament, will take place on 13th November and then the final on 16th November 2025 in Morocco. Meanwhile, according to the Confederation of African Football (CAF), this month's FIFA World Rankings, to be released on 23rd October 2025, will determine the seeding for the draw. The top-ranked team among the four playoffs team will play the fourth-ranked side, while the second and third-ranked nations will square off. The winner of the playoff tournament will qualify for the 16th Intercontinental Playoff in March 2026, while the team will face oppositions from Asia, South America, and Oceania. The winner of the international playoff and the runner-up will qualify for the 2025 FIFA World Cup, to be jointly hosted by US, Canada, and Mexico. So far, African countries that have qualified for the Mondial are Algeria, Cape Verde, Egypt, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia. Now, FIFA qualifications. The Blue Sharks of Cape Verde have made history as the second smallest African nation ever to qualify for a World Cup after a 3-0 home victory over Eswatini sealed their place at the 2026 finals. Cape Verde, playing in front of a packed 15,000 capacity national stadium in Praia, topped the qualifying group ahead of the continental giants Cameroon, sparking jubilant celebrations across the island nation. Dalion Livramento opened the scoring early in the second half, reacting quickest to a loose ball inside the six-yard box. Minutes later, Willie Samedo volleyed home a second to give the home side breathing space. Veteran defender Spopira put the result beyond doubt in stoppage time, completing a famous night for Cape Verde. The win means Cape Verde, with a population of just under 525,000 people, will join Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria, Ivory Coast, and Ghana as one of Africa's flag bearers at the expanded 2026 World to be jointly hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Only Iceland, with 353,000 population when they qualified for the 2028 World Cup in Russia, have reached the tournament with a similar population. Now to the tennis world. Ima Rudakano took 2 medical timeouts as she went down to a painful 3-set defeat against Lin Zhu at the Ningo opened on Tuesday. The 22-year-old fell victim to the extreme Wuhan heat and was forced to retire from her first round match against An Lee last week. She posted a picture on social media from a doctor's office and said she felt better, but she faded after winning the opening set, taking a medical timeout on 2 separate occasions, and had nothing left to give in the third set of the 3-6-6, 4-6-1 defeat toward number 1 2019 Zone. All right, that's the word of sports, the highlights. Now, Sugaba, I know Nigeria is a bit excited. I said a bit excited over the win, their win 4-0 defeat of Benin Republic. Now, I think on Monday we were here talking, and Collins was like, okay, we are hopeful. Okay, we are praying. Okay, we are praying. I said, okay, we have become a praying. We are praying South Africa will lose. We are praying.
Your prayer did not work.
We are praying Benin Republic will not win. Well, the prayer worked on one side because South Africa won their game, which has placed them, giving them automatic qualification for the World Cup. So now, Nigeria, did you watch that match yesterday? Let's hear what you saw there. What was your thinking when you saw the way these boys came out yesterday? What did you make of that?
Well, the Nigerian team played a very nice game.
The Nigerian spirit came out.
Yes, the spirit came out, but I wish they have been playing this way. I wish they have been playing this way. You know, at times, even if you have issue concerning managerial issue, you should do what you know to do best. Do it very well. Not minding whatever is going on in NFF and all that. You know, because what I saw yesterday was spirit, their team spirit.
The Nigerian spirit.
The Nigerian spirit of we can do it. That's what we saw yesterday. If you talk about the midfield, it was intact. Defense was intact. You see the people who were winning, they were not even able to come.
Control room, can we have that sports? I think can we have it? Please go ahead with your analysis.
You see, the guys that they were just a little bit away. You know, they were topping they were topping the group.
Yeah.
The Benin people. They were topping the
They
group.
were topping.
So they were just few miles away to be in the
edging
World
us
Cup.
out
Yeah,
completely.
to be in the World Cup for the first time. But unfortunately for them, it was Super Eagles they were playing. So this, and then the spirit of the what Super Eagles is known for.
Last
spirit,
minute.
Yes, it came out. In fact, if all the chances were converted, we could have been talking about 6 goals to nothing. I'm telling you, they really showed that we are Super Eagles. But it was a last-minute show, which has also, in a way, you know, lifted the hope that we'll continue
Nigeria
to have
can still
hope.
do it.
Yes, we can still do it, but it's a long way.
It is a long way because the playoff
yes.
now, when we don't know whom we are going to be playing.
We'll play Gabon.
In
Nigeria,
the playoff.
yes, I think we'll play Gabon.
And Gabon is not an easy ride.
Yes, we'll play
Gabon is not an easy
it's
ride.
like a semi-final.
Yeah.
We'll play Gabon. Then Cameroon will play DR Congo. Then
Burkina Faso?
I think it's DR Congo.
Okay.
It should be DR Congo. I think so. So we'll play Gabon. If we win Gabon, we'll play any of them. Then if we win, we still go to play from anotto continent.
From another continent,
Yes.
yeah.
So each in the continent, I think there should be two teams should be qualifying to go for the World Cup. So it's still a long road.
It's still a long road.
But
to climb.
they have shown that they can do it. They have shown they can do it. We have the better side more than South Africa. We have players that have made name. You know, more than South Africa. But
and I think the way they played yesterday is like, what the heck? I mean, now we day here now, and this is our tough. Now we are still the Super Eagles. I mean, we can't just be edged out like that. I think somehow the spirit came out. You know, Nigeria, this is also what is happening in every other sector. We like last minutes Now, we like to be under pressure to do things.
Just like as we are talking about voters card registration.
Yeah.
Some people will not go and get it until it is a day to election.
A day to election. Then they will now go and queue up under the sun and in the rain and be struggling. At the end of the day, they will now say, they did not give me my voters card.
So that is what happened in that. That's what we saw.
All right, we thank God. Let's keep praying because we are still going to be praying. I pray that by Friday, Ursula will be here to tell us how many chaplets we are going to be dipping into water this time.
You have to continue praying.
To pray and pray. Maybe yesterday we dipped 3, 4, 5. Maybe in the playoffs now we might need up to 10 to be.
If they play the way they played yesterday, we'll make it. If they played the way they played, to the extent that Osime even had to do hat-trick.
Yes.
They were impossible goal that Osime scored yesterday.
In fact, it reminded me the days of Taribu West and the rest. The way they played yesterday, they played their heart out. I think that was interesting. Okay, that's how much we can take on our sports segment. We'll be going right now into our newsroom after the break. Let's bring you what has been happening in and around Nigeria and, of course, the world. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.